Hey there, welcome to Board Game Barrister, our local game shop in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm Andy, and I'm here with Dylan and Theo, and today we're talking ONIX, a really cool game where we're going to be grabbing gems out of central piles in the middle of the table, using their special abilities to try to grab more, and then hoarding them away for points. Let's get into it. Welcome to ONIX from Blue Cocker Games, where everybody at the table is going to be trying to grab the best gems out of the center of the table to build sets in front of themselves and hoard them for points. To get started, everybody at the table is going to take one each of the 4 base gems in the game, the purple circle, blue square, yellow diamond, and red X. Then we're going to take all the remaining cards in the deck and put them out in the middle of the table in 5 equal stacks, and we're going to put them in a circular pattern such that each pile on the table is beside 2 other piles. We'll pick somebody to be our first player, and we're ready to get started. Each of your turns is going to have 2 parts. The first is where you're going to choose and retrieve new gems out of the center, and the second is where you're going to resolve the special ability of the color you chose. So if we take a look at an example turn here, our first player might choose purple as their gem color for the turn. Once you've made your choice, you get to collect gems out of the center of the table that match your color choice, and the ones you pick up have to be adjacent to one another. So if we chose purple this turn, we've got cards with purple gems represented on 3 adjacent cards, which means we could pick up all 3 of these cards. Let's do that now. The second part of choosing these cards is that you're going to add them into the stacks in front of you. You get to pick which stacks they go into, but the one rule to keep in mind is that you can never have a stack with 2 duplicated gems of the same color. So this purple and yellow card couldn't go into a stack with this yellow gem because it would duplicate the yellows. Instead, we'll put that here with our red, we'll put our blue and purple here with our yellow, and we'll put this last purple here with our blue. And we're adding cards to these stacks to try to complete sets of all 4 gems within a single stack. So for instance, this stack currently has the red, yellow, and purple gems. Once it has a blue added, that set will be complete and we'll be able to hoard it for points. And if you happen to collect a card that can't fit into any of your stacks because it's a duplicate in each one of those stacks, then all you do is create a new stack, and there's no limit of how many stacks you can have going at a time. Once we've chosen where to put those new cards in our stacks, then we're on to the next part of our turn, which is to use the special ability of the gem color we chose. Each of the 4 colored gems has a special ability that you're going to be able to activate now. Purple is to draw, which means that I get to choose one more card off the top of one of the piles in the center and add it to my stacks. So if I took this blue now, that would actually allow me to complete one of my stacks this turn. And whenever that happens, you're going to turn those cards over and permanently add them into your hoard, which is your score pile for the end of the game. The 3 other abilities are hoard for blue, which means that you're going to choose one card off of one of the draw piles and immediately add it into your hoard pile. That's a free point at the end of the game. Steal for yellow, which means you get to choose the top card of one of your opponent's stacks and add it into one of your stacks. And last is destroy for red, which means you're going to choose the top card of one of your opponent's stacks, and instead of stealing it, you're going to permanently discard it from the game. After we've resolved that ability and hoarded any complete stacks, then we're on to the next player's turn. And our next player has a really interesting set of decisions to make out here. Because when you make your color choice and you're collecting your gems, you can only collect those gems that are adjacent to each other. So right now, if they said purple, for instance, they could collect these 2 adjacent purples, or this purple across the way, but not all 3. Same thing with blue, where these blues are not adjacent to one another, they couldn't collect both cards, but they could say red right now and get 2 really powerful cards that are adjacent reds. We're going to continue going around the circle, collecting gems and using their special abilities until a player's turn comes around and their choice of gem empties one of the stacks on the table. That means the game is over after their turn. In a 5 or 6 player game, it's the same rule except 2 stacks have to be empty in order for it to end. Then we're going to count up the cards in everybody's hoard, and whoever hoarded the most wins it all. Alright, so we just got done playing ONIX with 3 players today. Me and Theo had never played before, this was our first time trying it out, and Dylan already loves the game, so they were our teacher and guide today. We played with 3, and that felt great as far as a time before your next turn comes around. It moved really quickly. The game took 15 minutes tops. You'd probably play in 10 to 15 minutes, no matter how many players you have, because the game is moving along based on the number of cards left in the stacks in the center of the table. So even if you had 2 players or all the way up to the game's max, which is 6 players, the number of cards getting pulled out of the center of the table is going to be about the same on every single person's turn in the game, which means 2 players and 6 players, still a 15-minute game.
In the bigger tables, sometimes it does feel like your turn can take a while to come back around, but remember that the game is really quick. You take a card from the center, do the effect, and that's it. That is all you have to do. Very simple, very easy, quick to pick up and learn. I think I learned it when I bought the copy maybe in 5 minutes, and I suck at reading rule books, and that's how I learned it.
Just take this, hoard it, and then
I was really hoping you were going to destroy Andy and just keep him, just kick him while he's down.
Andy's not the threat
Leave
currently.
me.
So this is a set collection game at its core, which is really nice. I'm a big fan of set collection games. They're really fun when you get that set, put it away. But this does have a little bit of take that, where you are affecting other people, doing things to their collections and stuff. But it doesn't feel bad, because most set collections have like combos or other things that could make or break you. So when you do the take that, it does feel kind of bad. In this one, you lose a card or you gain a card, and it doesn't give you a big advantage one way or the other, which is really nice.
Yeah, I really liked that you didn't have to have a grand strategy in this game. It wouldn't behoove you to have a grand strategy. There's no way to do it. The stuff that's going to come up in the middle will be randomized for you on your turns, and it will be either great or kind of a mess. And then you have one simple decision to make, like Dylan said, where sometimes in a game where things get messed up in the middle and you don't know how to plan ahead, that means suddenly on your turn you have to do a whole bunch of recalculating and rethinking. There's so little to this one that you're going to go, is there a really solid color that I can take a ton of? Interesting, maybe I'll do that. Or is there an ability I really want to take advantage of that could be a cool combo for me? Actually, that's better. Let's do that instead, and then your turn's over. It's so clean.
I never plan ahead in this game. It's literally just, my turn comes around, I look at what's available, I see that there's, 4 of the same color. Well, I'm probably going to take those so I can have more cards that I can collect off of, and it's just, pretty good.
Yeah. And you do, when you're going into the game, you have to embrace the fact that it is going to lift you up and smack you down. There are going to be turns where you're like, oh, fantastic. Everything fell into place such that the cards the last player took off the stacks, uncovered an amazing set of 4 reds I could take this turn, and I'll do something awesome. And a bunch of your turns will come around and you'll go, this is trash. What am I supposed to do with this? Cue Andy getting trash turns all last game. Look at what you guys are leaving me with.
And I will steal your blue. Yellow. I'm gonna ruin your day.
Here we are again.
I don't like this. Finally comes around to be my reckoning, and I don't.
Oh,
like
you have an Andy look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The table states.
I mean,
Andy.
if it was really Andy like this, wouldn't have 2 fingers.
Yeah.
There's no way. All right, I think that does it. Quick and simple, just like the game. We had a really great time with ONIX. We hope you had fun watching. As always, hit that like, leave a comment if you got one. Check out our online store where you'll find cool games like ONIX and ONIX itself. And subscribe if you want to see our new videos every week when we post them. Thanks for this week. We'll see you next time. Everybody wave. Good job.